Hey, Shalom, Akim.
Shalom.
Hey, first and foremost, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor unto
Yahweh,
Yahweh, Bahashem,
Bahashem,
Yahweh Shai,
Yahushai,
Bahashem,
Bahashem,
Racha,
Racha,
Kwadash.
Kodash.
Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well, that never left the flock astray, and continue to feed the sheep. And salutations to you, Akim, that go throughout the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth, risking your life, and putting your life on the line to push this word to the hopeful elect that are scattered throughout the world. Right? We are the brothers from Great Millstone Northwest. I'm here with,
Kalakar,
and I'm Tawabash. And we just pray this lesson is edifying unto you, hopeful elect members out there, and whoever it's meant to reach, that it reaches.
Part 2.
Part two, yeah, we getting back into, um,
We were scattered.
yep, we were
hmm
scattered. And this was inspired by the Apostle Tahar, and he was going into the Israelite foreigners on Saturday. And it's one of my favorite subjects. So, I like to go into it, and like we said, hey, we just pray that it's edifying.
It's a mystery,
Yeah,
and like it's going that Great Millstone. You gotta understand, you gotta know the history before you understand the mystery.
mystery. Mm,
So,
yeah,
this is all a mystery. You can't look at somebody and just determine what they are.
exactly.
You gotta try by that spirit, which is a mystery
Yeah,
if you don't have the Holy Spirit.
yeah. Hey, and that's the beautiful thing about it is because that's why he spoke, in parables.
hmm
And his disciples said, "Why do you speak to them in parables?" Hey, because it's only meant for a certain
You,
few.
for
Yeah,
you to get it,
not
not for.
but it's not for them.
Could you imagine if everybody knew the understanding of the Bible?
Yeah,
It'd be pandemonium. It'd be mayhem.
yeah.
People be offing
Pulling
themselves.
pulling their hair out.
People be you see in traffic just driving off cliffs, driving just it'd be crazy.
It'd be crazy. All right, so we're gonna jump into it. Um,
And it'll be crazy because people couldn't handle it.
right.
You get, just, we have this understanding, we have this truth, and we're able to understand it and still, you know, do what we do, live in Babylon the Great,
Yeah.
without like, man, this is too much. I gotta go. I know
Right.
I'm gonna go back to the spiritual realm. So what difference does it make?
Mm,
You know,
yeah.
but we're able to still, you know, uh, obtain or sustain our lives here, waiting for the Lord to come back.
Because we actually have faith and hope.
There you go.
We believe the promise.
There you go.
We believe Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is going to hold true to his word because we know that his word come not back unto him void,
Void.
as the scriptures say. And
Come.
he's not a man that
That
he
he
should
should lie.
lie. So we can count on these things.
Mm-hmm.
We got all of our eggs in that basket.
Yeah.
In the world, you can't put all your eggs in one basket. But with
Mm-mm.
Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, you
You
better.
can. You better. There's no way around it.
That's right.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
This is Ezekiel 36 and 19. And I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries, according to their way and according to their doings I judged them.
Right. And this happened over and over and over again. Why? Because Israel is a stiff-necked and hard-hearted people. Right? They couldn't get it. They'd get right for a little while, then they went right back to the idolatry.
Mm.
They'd get on. They'd get a king that was righteous, and then some nigga
Mm-hmm.
would want to take over, so he'd go to the enemy, like
Second back.
Jason's ass, yeah,
Oh, Jay, that's the spirit. Second back.
like Jason's bitch ass, and and, and,
Uh-huh.
and, and and try to infiltrate some shit.
And you see that throughout Israelite history.
Yeah,
There's always some wicked Israelite persecuting his own people.
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
I'm going to read it in NLT real quick.
Yes, sir.
It says, I scattered them to many lands to punish them for the evil way they have lived.
Right.
So it's if not following the law, statute, commandments
Yeah.
will get you a fresh ticket to another land, to a foreign land where you're seeing these foreign gods and going after these strange doctrines and women and just all madness, man. All
Yeah.
madness.
As we are to this day,
Yep.
right here in our
We're in a
captivity.
foreign land and
Yeah,
stolen from our brothers, brothers of Native Americans, tribe of Gad,
yeah,
Reuben,
yeah.
taken from them, and now we're all in placed here. The majority of the Israelites are placed here in the Americas. Primarily the United States of America. But yeah, this is our our we got that cargo slave ship straight to a land where man, we don't know each other. We talked about that in the
Yeah.
part one. We don't know who we are
Right.
in this land.
Yep.
You know,
In the land of their captivity, there shall they remember
remember
themselves.
themselves. Yep.
And we are yet this day in our captivity.
Activity. Yep.
And that goes for Israel no matter where they are, because
Mm-hmm.
we're under the curses. You
Mm-hmm.
can't, if you're an Israelite, it's like Final Destination. You can't escape the curses. You go to watch a movie and the ceiling gonna cave in on your
Yeah.
ass. Did you see that?
Uh-huh.
The bitch went to go watch the movie,
Mm-hmm.
died in the
Died in
theater.
theater.
But that's it. So it don't matter where you at, because you look at in Japan, they got a heavy lowrider culture.
Mm.
Some of those might be Issacharites,
Yep. Yep.
right?
Yeah, there's a heavy the Chinko movement and that part of the world
Yeah.
is heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy.
Yeah, they got a lowrider culture and they got a hip hop culture.
Mm-hmm.
So hey, Jake is scattered. The brother Manatazak down there in Cali just did a video on Machine Gun Kelly,
Mm-hmm.
asking, hey, is he Jake or fake? The way that man was spitting though, because at first I was
Yeah.
like, he might be, and
Yeah.
then the beat changed and he started riding the beat. I was like, even
Mm-hmm.
Eminem can't really do that.
Yeah.
We believe Eminem could be an Israelite.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, you're gonna see Israelites as it's spoken about in Acts that come from all nations, out of every nation under the earth, but they are going to be of the bloodline of Israel.
Yeah. Yeah, because when they came to Pentecost, and
Salakia.
he still ain't said it.
All right, Salakia.
It's lucky as well.
All right, but yeah, let me grab
44 or no, down to
24.
2024. This is Ezekiel 36 and 24. It says, "For I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all countries and will bring you into your own land."
Future prophecy, and that's what we're waiting on. You know, we're waiting on Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and the green light. We're waiting to see the World War III, the MOTB, the time of Jacob's trouble, the hour of temptation, and the coming of our Lord. Because after he gathers the elect out of Babylon, we're going to go to safety with Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And when we come back down, we're going throughout the world to gather Israel. And if
Right.
you don't want to get down, you're going to get fucked up.
Like it says in Isaiah 26 chapter around the 20th verse, it says, "Come up here, my people." As a matter of fact, let me get that real quick so I don't butcher it.
Come up hither.
I think it's, "Come up hither, my people,
Yeah.
to shut the doors for a little while the indignation pass over." Yeah, Isaiah 26 and 20 quick. "Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself as it were for a little moment until the indignation be overpassed."
Yeah. Yep, and that's them chariots, man. That's the fathership that the
Mm-hmm.
elect gonna be in. Yeah, because hey, we don't want to be partakers of her sin.
Mm-mm.
So right now we're coming up out of her in a mental process, in a spiritual way, right? In a cleansing way. We're shedding off the old man and the world, and we're putting on them white robes and the clothing to be acceptable unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. We're putting on them wedding garments and getting our spiritual mind right to be delivered.
We got a head start. The Lord sent the prophets, our elders, our apostles, and they paved the way, and we got a head start just like they do. So as this world continues to get weaker with age and it's getting real bad out there. As this world continues to get weaker in age, we're growing in the spirit. We're shedding off that old man, like the brother just mentioned, and we're gonna come into those new bodies. Lord will.
Hey, and that's why that's why the Lord said the kingdom shall be revealed in us. Why? Because we're kingdom minded.
Mm-hmm.
We are speaking the kingdom into existence through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. This is the most glorious thing that's ever happened in time.
Mm-hmm.
Time everlasting besides the creation.
God.
But that creation was for what's coming. The kingdom of heaven.
God.
And for his chosen people to be in paradise. Where
like it's intended to be.
That's right.
Man,
that was supposed
to be. You want to go to 44?
Yeah.
All right. It's Ezekiel 44. Would you say 9? I think.
Yes, sir.
Ezekiel 44 and 9. It says, "Thus say the Lord, power. No stranger uncircumcised in heart, nor uncircumcised in flesh, shall enter into my sanctuary of any stranger that is among the children of Israel."
Proving that the Israelite foreigners that are called Gentiles in the New Testament, unless it's actually talking about the heathen, is speaking to those that were in a Gentile mindset, living the Gentile customs, praying to Gentile gods. This is saying that, hey, if you ain't of Israel, you
You
can't
can't
get, you
do it.
can't.
There's no way.
That's right.
There's no way in there's no way you can be a part of this fold.
That's right.
You know, you have to be an Israelite.
Yeah.
Point blank period.
And on the first go round,
Yeah.
you got to
You
be
can
elected
elect.
and
Oh
called and
man.
chosen.
That's even, man.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, but just bringing this out to show you that it's not talking to other people that are going to be believers. That's why it says the Scythians.
Mm-hmm.
Apostle Tahar was going into that today. The Scythians, it says they're going to be um, believers,
Mm-hmm.
and we know that those are the original Russians who was Israelites that were
Israelite, yeah.
nomads.
Mm-hmm. And not only that, remember we were reading, I think around the 4th chapter, it talks about the Spartans.
Yeah, our
They
brothers.
was brothers to the Israelites.
Yeah. So they was like, hey, we hope you holding down these customs because we
Mm-hmm.
holding down these customs
Mm-hmm.
over here, and we need to stick together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Next one I got is.
Let's go to. We can do the Amos 9 and 9,
All right.
and then the Baruch 5 and 5.
This is Amos 9 and verse 9. It says, "For lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, as corn is sifted in a sieve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth."
Right. So Israel is going to be sifted throughout all of the nations because we've been again scattered to all of
Mm-hmm.
these nations, and we got to be called back. Remember, we read that he shall come back a second time
Mm-hmm.
to bring his people out
Mm-hmm.
of Egypt and Pathros and all these other lands,
Mm-hmm.
and it's that sifted, that corn, that seed is Israel, because it don't
Mm-hmm.
matter if you take an apple seed and you plant one in China, one in South America, one in Canada, and one in the Antarctica, if it could actually grow,
Hmm.
they're all going to be an apple.
Apple.
They might have
Mhm.
different characteristics because of the atmosphere that it grows in, but it's
Mhm.
still going to be of that
Free
seed.
seed, yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Lord is going to sift the house, man. The Lord is looking for His elect,
Yeah.
or the elect waiting for the elect to be activated, and the apostles say the elect already might be activated. We're just waiting on the prophecies to come to pass.
Yeah.
So, if you're not, speaking in the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shah, the hell with you.
Right.
You are going to be left here to fry,
Mm.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Or die one of the various ways the Lord has something lined up. Wild beasts,
Mm-hmm.
famine,
Yeah.
the sword, the you could die from the MOTB because it's cancerous sore from that.
Yeah.
Getting cancer from
Grievous sore.
it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
I like how it, like as corn is sifted.
Mm-hmm.
When you go in the New Testament, when you go to the word Cornelius,
Oh,
that
okay.
word
Yeah, of
goes
course.
back
Yeah.
to kernel,
A corner.
a
Well.
corn kernel. So he's
Seed.
of the seed of
Seed.
Israel.
Seed. Yep.
It says he was of the Italian band, but it's just like
Mm-hmm.
how you got Negroes in the American, the French, the
Mm-hmm.
German army,
Mm-hmm.
right?
They're everywhere.
Everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because I just watched Jesse Peterson yesterday. I was watching
Mm-hmm.
his stupid ass on YouTube Shorts, and he was talking to Godfrey, and he's talking about, how you gonna come to my country and tell you? And Godfrey's like, your country. You believe that? He's like, yeah, of course, this is my country. You got Jake that'll be cooned out, that are fully immersed in the ways of whatever country they live in, whatever government they live under, and that's the Israelite foreigners that are spoken about in the New Testament.
Yeah.
That's the point of bringing this out, because you Christians got to understand that if you're not an Israelite by blood, and if you ain't gonna get right with the Heavenly Father in the actual truth, you ain't got no chance.
No chance. No chance in hell.
Not a snowball's chance in hell.
And Jake crazy as hell over here rooting for America and shit like that, man.
Crazy.
Waiting for, this is I did a video a while back, probably a month ago, but it was a Jake. It was two Jakes having a dialogue back and forth, and
Hmm.
the one Jake was saying that, isn't this the best place? Look, you got a bag, you got clothes on, you got nice hair, just going on and on about how America's so great and we can have a great country if we just all do this and all of that. How Sway? How Sway? We under the curses here, and you
Yeah,
you over here thinking you living good, man. You ain't, man.
yeah,
We need to be in our land. We need to be under our law, statute, commandments. So we can live in harmony and peace, man.
yeah.
This is not the way you wake up every morning. That's you in the valley of death, the
Hmm.
shadow of death.
Hmm.
Like it says in Psalm. We are in a we got the manual for salvation, but at the same time, we still here in Babylon the Great, where you can be taken out, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, if that was part of your lot.
Yeah.
But still, all these, you got your own people that hate you. You got the Edomites, the heathen, the Edomites that hate you. We we are, you know, by the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, we still walking around
Yeah.
here.
I mean, shit, they attacking us from every
Every angle.
opposite. You're
Mm-hmm.
just, Jake is just asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Because hey, we're waking up every morning behind enemy lines, and you fucking dumbass niggas don't even realize it.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
You don't even get it. You're waking up, and you're being persecuted daily. And
Mm-hmm.
if you just want to ignore that and live your happy little life, good for you, motherfucker, because you're gonna die a
Horrible
terrible
death.
death.
Terrible. Death by pain.
Yeah,
Death by
he's
pain.
gonna leave you here and melt
Melt
you.
ya.
Brute 5 and 5, and then we can
Come,
wrap it
come. This is the brute. This is the brute. This is the
up.
book of Baruch 5 and verse 5. It says, "Arise, O Jerusalem, and stand on high, and look about towards the east, and behold, thy children gathered from the west and to the east by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the remembrance of the Most High."
And that's exactly what you're seeing happen right now. The remembrance of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai on a major scale, right, is happening right now. The Great Awakening. You're
Come,
witnessing it.
come.
And, it's high time for Jake to wake up out of sleep. But we know that only the elect will do so.
Yep, it's all about the elect.
Yeah,
That's all it's about. That's all it's going to ever be about until we get into the kingdom.
yeah.
Then Israel be in their right mind. The ones that died on this side. They're
Hmm.
going to be born through the elect.
Yeah.
And you're gonna hang your head low because you're gonna loaf and know about the things that you did while the gospel is being preached throughout the four corners of the globe in
Yeah.
this time right here.
Yeah, you're gonna eat them words, all them
Mm-hmm.
mocking words that you had towards Yahweh Bashem
Mm-hmm.
Yahushai, thinking you was just talking to people who had arts and crafts on from Michaels and
Mm-hmm.
Joann's. You want to talk shit about our garments? Just
Mm-hmm.
wait, man. You're gonna see who you really talking about, because it ain't us, because we don't
Mm-hmm.
represent us.
Mm-mm.
We're ambassadors for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and this truth.
Con.
Yeah. So yeah, you got anything else, brother?
That's it.
So
Short
with
and
that,
sweet.
hey, we'll see you on the part 3, maybe a part 4. But Lord
Mm-hmm.
willing, this was edifying. The water for tuning in. Till next time, shalom.
Shalom.